Blah, y'all already know what it is. Your boy Yaakov with it do. The outlet to reality. The oldest podcast in Vegas and Chicago. What up? This is the place where you want to hide from your drama or maybe hide from your baby mama. Just kidding. But anyways, fans, thank you for staying tuned. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Choo, choo. And today we have a very special guest who is my photographer, my friend, my brother. Give it up for the one and only Sebe. What's
What
up,
up, what
brother?
up? What up, what up?
Oh man, but I'm happy you're here, man. I do want to share we got together. So for the first time we hang out, we went to Sofrito Rico, one of the best Puerto Rican restaurant that you introduced me to in Vegas. We go there. We had what was it?
El Jíbaro.
Hibaro. Yeah,
Two
thank you.
Jíbaros. Yeah, yeah,
Thank you,
yeah.
bro. Thank you, bro. I losing my words, man. Losing my words.
No,
And it was so cool, you know. We had a good time. We chopped it up, and I gotta be honest, man. The food was fire, and I came back another time. You know, I had a few. I did a commercial for them, real nice TikTok, where I showed the food, the outside. I danced with one of the waitresses. It was real nice. Did a lot of spins. And then I told my boy, yo, Mark Anthony saw my video. I was like, no way. And so I shared it to you. And it was a big deal for me because, you know, I love Mark Anthony. He's a legend.
oh yeah,
So, you know what I'm saying? So I had to share
oh
that.
yeah, oh yeah.
But, brother, if you could share a little bit about that night and anything you could think of when you think about that restaurant.
Oh no, absolutely. So, like first and foremost, we're in the West, and so a lot of the Puerto Ricans are more out east, and even in Chicago, but as far as Puerto Rican spots, there's a lot of Mexican spots out here, which Mexican food is delicious. Don't get me wrong, but you got to get a taste of home. Un poquito de arroz con gandules, you know what I'm saying? You can get a bunch of stuff out there. And uh, so Frito Rico, we were looking for a spot. They opened it up. It used to be a food truck, and they finally opened up a restaurant for them and got them in a nice little spot and everything like that. And ever since then, I know a lot of Puerto Ricans that be going over there and stuff like that. They be having their family Sunday dinners and everything. And it's just cool to have a Puerto Rican spot in Vegas, which is like super rare. It's so rare. It's a cool little spot. I highly suggest if you in Vegas, search them up. So Frito Rico, they're delicious food. You can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong.
That stood out, what you told me is that the owner, the restaurant, I don't know if the owner or the grandma, that she would sit at the restaurant. You remember that you were
Yeah,
sharing?
yeah. No, yeah. So the owner of the restaurant, her mother, excuse me, would sit like every day, would chill, have a little bit of cafe, and just eat throughout the whole day, and would chill in the corner in a little spot by herself. You know what I'm saying? She would help out every once in a while when she could, if it's like a busy hour. But she just recently passed away, and it's kind of sad because they posted up the information on IG and everything like that, and it's sad because she was there from the very beginning and everything like that. But at least she was able to see her daughter go and at least start up something in Vegas for the Boricuas and all that stuff like that. So it was, at least at the very least, she got that opportunity.
That's amazing, bro. That's amazing. And I gotta say, fam, you know, it's amazing how, you know, the Puerto Rican, you know, the country, the people, y'all have a much love for them, man. It's big, you know, like you said, I'm from Chicago. It's a big community over there. And brother, tell us a little bit about like your family, um, and then if you could dive into the Tainos, brother, that mean a
Oh,
lot.
yeah, absolutely. I got you. I got you. So my grandfather actually was Cuban, and when before the stuff with Castro and everything was going down, he had an uncle in Puerto Rico that had his own tone company. And so his uncle told him to come on over and I'm gonna give you the job. And then he met my grandmother, had my mom, and then my dad's family. They from there. They're from Bayamon, as a matter of fact. Um, and so my mom's family's from Guaynabo, and they're like very close. They got a little rivalry, a little friendly rivalry. They're very close to each other, literally like we're talking like you can throw a rock from Guaynabo or Bayamon and you're gonna hit, either side. So I was born in Puerto Rico in San Juan. It's the capital and everything because that's where all the good hospitals are at. And so after I was born, I was actually raised for a little bit for about 5 years in Guaynabo. Guaynabo City is what they call it. And so uh, it's just a lot of like my whole family roots is a lot of my family roots is majority Puerto Rican, especially on my dad's side and everything like that. We've been there, and it's a cultural place. Like if you ever go there, I highly suggest it. It's beautiful out there. The waters, you got the bioluminescence at night, so you can see like the bacterias. It's not like you're not gonna get sick or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it lights up at nighttime and everything, and it's super cool. And like the three main cultures is uh is the Taino Indians, which were original. They inhabited. They were there since recorded history. And then you got the African side, and then you got the Spanish side. Obviously, when they came over there, all the conquistadors and everything came and colonized the Caribbean and the South part and everything, like the Southern America and Mexico and all those places like that. But yeah, I mean that's PR right there, and I highly suggest. I'm telling you, if you have the opportunity, I highly suggest people go out there and visit. It's cool because it's a United States territory, so you can use USD. You know what I'm saying? You have to convert your money and everything like that. And use dollars, so it's all good, and it's not. And it was cool when you go out there to the restaurants and everything like that. So um, you can go grab you a little lunch or dinner, and then it's a free show. Literally, like the musicians will come out into the street and start playing salsa. You can dance. They're very inclusive with everybody, even people that aren't from Puerto Rico. They just like that. You get down with them, and you can party a little bit.
Wow, man, that's what's up, brother. And can you share a little bit about what you say that it was shocking to me about the Tainos, like what custom they did when they were um trying to have a kid. You remember you were telling me?
Oh yeah, yeah. So the Tainos believe in different deities and spirits and gods and stuff. And so one of the gods that they would so if a woman was infertile, she couldn't have babies. What they would do is they would make a painting and pray or do sculptures of it's a fertility god, and basically it's a sculpture with a pregnant woman, and they would pray to that god, hoping that she would be able to then conceive in the future and everything like that. And it's just one of the parts about Puerto Rico that's so it's beautiful, it really is.
That's amazing, brother. I do gotta say, so you know that for me, it really made me think about in a way like Rashi, right? So you're talking about a custom, right, where you're able to um help your partner have a child. So there's a part in the Torah that talks about the Sota potion, which is in the olden biblical days, if your wife was cheating on her partner or her husband, she had to drink this potion, right? The Sota, and was honest and faithful, she became a righteous woman, Sadiqas. If she wasn't faithful, she died. And there was three ingredients: water, dirt, and a small parchment, like a verse in the Torah with Hashem's name, with God's name. And Rashi says something really cool. He says, if you want to not sin and live, you know, a righteous path, you need three things to remember: water, meaning of life; dirt, we always, everyone, no matter rich or poor, we die; and the last one is the recording. Or you go to Olam Haba, when you go to heaven, Hashem, God is going to tell you, show you all the things you've done in your whole life, kind of like a movie. Like he'll show it everything. And I thought that was real cool, man. That's why I had to, tie that in because I thought what you shared was dope.
Yeah.
And 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 the really cool thing is I'm happy and that you saw the movie Rashi and Rambam, which was for me a big deal, brother, because you know there was weeks went by and I said, brother, did you finish Rashi?
I
And
had to
you
visit
said,
both of them. You know what I'm saying? I had to visit both of them.
right, right. I said, brother, did you finish? You're like, I went halfway. I'm halfway there. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll be like, Rashi wanted me to tell you that he's kind of sad. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And then you finally did it, and I was so proud of you, brother. You put a lot of energy towards it, and I'm happy you did your research. I see you did a lot of reading outside of film, and I think that's great because anything you learn, you always want to do research, and
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying. So, brother, if you can share to all of us, what did you got out of these two fundamental rabbis? What did you learn? What was your uh what can you say the difference between Rashi and Rambam and any comparison? I love to hear your thoughts, brother.
Well, I mean, obviously the differences is like as far as more Latino Jew Sephardic with the Rambam, and then Rashi was more Ashkenaz and everything, and being from France and living the majority of his life, I want to say, in France, if I remember correctly. And how what I really admire from both of them is like how they were down for the people. Like they they got don't get it wrong. Like they got along with other religions and everything like that, but especially like given their circumstances with the Jewish people. To this day, it happens. It happens all the way back when they were alive. It happens to this day how they get persecuted, and everything like that. But they still didn't give up the faith, and it would have been easy to just okay, you know what, to make our life easier, we can what they call it, convert and everything. But they didn't do that because they understand like this is important to them, and they have a duty being leaders of their community and everything. So they rode for their people. They did what they can for their people. As far as similarities, I mean that's 100% with them two. They were. I would have loved to like have a legit conversation with them, because even if you may not have agreed with their beliefs and everything, I feel like it would have they would have heard you out with those differences, and then maybe even shown you a different perspective as far as the lessons that they learned within the Torah. Like it's not a small book or group of books. You know, it's not. That's something you got to dedicate your whole life to. And on top of that, they served the community though. They weren't just doing that. You know, they were serving the community. They were they went through loss. They went through persecution and all that, and they would still have found the time to be able to do that. And they seem like just super wise men, super wise. Like it would have just been great to have been able to have a conversation with them, you know, and just learn. I would have been a sponge. I'm telling you, I would have been up there asking all types of questions and everything. And it's a beautiful uh, lesson you can learn from them too. I highly suggest, especially them too. Like I can understand what they mean to the Jewish people even today. Look how many years it's been. Their words still speak truth. You know, it's crazy.
No, it's true, fam. I think that what you said is very powerful. They not only had time to read, study Torah, but they also had time to help their community grow and build relationships. And that's what you got to do, and I feel like, what a lot of people don't know, for those who don't know, Rashi is one of the biggest commentators till this day in the world, because he done commentaries for the Torah, the Tanakh, the Talmud, and the Talmud is long. It's a lot of books you got to study. Rambam, on the other hand, also has his own um, commentaries of the Talmud. He explains more about the laws of holidays, Shabbat. It goes it goes deep. It goes deep. Now I do want to say, hey, with Rambam, I feel like a lot of people that are not Jewish know about him, and I want to speak more about him for a little bit because he's like one of the only Latino rabbis or rabbinos that actually was respected in the Jewish community. And but the thing is, he's not really mentioned in the media. Like we don't really hear about him, and he represent us Latino Jews, which for me is beautiful. I think we need more representation of that. Someone not only he was a physician, a doctor, he changed a lot of systems in a good way. One thing that stood out is that when he lost his brother David, who was one of his first students, right, that he studied with, um, it was one of the hardest things for him. I saw like a little documentary. They say that Rambam didn't leave his bed for a whole year because that's how sad he got. And Sebi, I know you have a twin, so if you could speak a little bit more about that when you heard that when you watched the film too, you know.
Absolutely. So, first of all, shout out to the Latino Jews, and I know the underrepresented people think like it's just Eastern European, and those are the only Jews, and it's nowadays you got Israeli Jews, you know what I'm saying, and everything like that. But there's actually like there's a lot of them that started off in Spain, even, you know what I'm saying, in Spain, and unfortunately because of the Crusades and the Spanish Inquisition and everything, they had to get out of their homeland, which is just sad. But as far as also when Rambam lost his brother, and I definitely like felt that part, just because I can only imagine. Like there's a twin brother. Like I was shared a room with him for 18 years of my life. He's been my best friend since then. Like that's this. I kind of feel bad for people. Like don't get me wrong, you have two sisters, an older sister and a younger sister, and I love them to death too. But to have a twin with you, that's your best friend since coming out, since when you're in the womb, your womb mates and everything like that, and your mom's stomach and everything. It's a lot of way to this day. He even lives in North Carolina, and I still I talk to him on a daily basis, check up on him and everything. And that part, I know, I felt his pain when I watched that movie, just because I can't imagine what it would be like, and it's just sad that he had to go through that, but at the same time, he still had a community to serve and everything. And eventually, with the help of his wife and the community and his family, he didn't get over it. He didn't get over it, which is, you never ever get over that. But he at least found the strength to go on.
Yeah, for sure, brother. Yeah, I think it's important to understand that in life you have to cherish every moment. Your family member, your friends. You just never know when is the last day. And I agree with you. I think it's tough to deal with that and to cope with it, right? Because it's like you grew up your whole life with them. I do want to say something that's really cool that I think real quick that it came in my head when Rashi was debating with, I forgot if it was a bishop, but one of his friends, and he tells Rashi, you think we deserve Israel? Like, should we take over that country? And Rashi, knowing that what he says could affect his people, so he said, you know, I don't even think you and I deserve, or I don't even think Israel belongs to none of us. I think it belongs to Hashem. It belongs to God. He created the heaven and earth. I love that part of the movie because what he just did right there, he was bringing peace. If he would have said, no, no, it's only for me, you
Right.
right there, you're putting your ego first, and you can't do that. Rambam, on the other hand, he every day when he moved to Egypt, he will help out Shaw, one of the biggest leaders. And I don't know if he was a king, but I know he was a big, big timer. And he will help him, what I'm saying, take care of him. And right there, he was building relationship positive. He knew that about Shaw, then that will help my people to not get persecuted or um or get exiled, right? That's what I love about, seeing these two guys helping, not only their community but outside, and bringing peace with Islam, Christianity, which you don't really see these days. Nowadays, if you talk about religion, people fight, they get
Oh no,
mad.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They get defensive, so it gets crazy.
One thing I praise both of them, especially Rashi in this aspect, you can tell. So like he was a judge, right? And when you're a judge, you gotta be you gotta be you can't be a part of any single one group. Obviously, he's for his people and the Jewish people and everything like that. Obviously, but when his idea came, he said we can live amongst each other, we can share with each other and everything like that. But when it comes to religion, we got to separate that. And I felt like he did that specifically because he knew of the problems it would have brought up. Because you think something else about God, you're gonna persecute me, and I don't agree with you. So he knew as far as that goes, that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like it should be able to. That's why it's crazy because this was such a long time ago, and back in those days, I mean, like even today now, but it wasn't as bad. It's not as bad as it was, and you could die for having those beliefs and everything. And he was still like saying that's how it should be, and this is what I believe that how it should go, and that's strong to do that because he wasn't saying complete segregation. He just wanted, as far as certain things like religion and worship, which those that's it's okay to you know not agree with each other on that.
Yeah, yeah, very true, fam. Very true. It's always good to question your faith and to debate. I think the only way you grow is if you ask questions and you learn. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one thing, Sebi, I'm gonna be real. I felt like that's what got us a lot closer because
Absolutely.
I feel like, I can talk to you about a lot of these things that many people are willing to accept, hear me out. And I think you're like a scholar, fam, almost. You know what I'm saying? Like every day I always see you with a new book. Like, you know what I'm saying? You go in the little computer where we got cameras and stuff. My boy goes there and we always tell him he's at the confession room. He's trying to you know what I'm saying? Because he be turning off the lights. I don't know what he be doing, but he be gone. We don't
I
see
gotta
him for
atone for
like,
my sins, you know.
yeah, yeah, he be gone for 2 hours. We're like, yo, where he go? And everybody be like, he at the confession booth. He's he's trying to let everything out. You see? Oh, you good? You good? I'm about to wrap it up, fam. Don't worry, don't worry. I'm about to wrap
Okay,
it up
man.
right now, right now,
All
right.
right.
All right, guys. This is the outlet to reality. The holders podcast in Vegas and Chicago every Tuesday. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ching. Y'all know where to find me. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, the outlet to reality. My Snapchat is take one, pass it. And my TikTok is at Yaakov28. And Sebi, where can my fans find you?
On IG, El Rey 43. Hit it up. I'm the you. If you need a photographer, I got you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.